Good
to
So
go.
I can fix my posture.
Good to go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Team Powerhouse Show. We are live. It is November 5th. It is election day. It is one night we will never forget. One way or another, we will never forget it. And tonight, we're going to go into the great debate. Eric Vasquez on your far right, and David Lamell here. We are excited to be with you on this Tuesday night. You probably have multiple pieces of media in front of you. Hopefully your phones, your iPads, your computers, your laptops. And you're probably multitasking between getting ready for dinner and getting that pizza ordered for dinner tonight. Might be a pizza night, right? I mean, that's kind of one of those things. Pizza night, big nights.
Sure.
Anyway, we're excited to be a part of your lives. Thank you so much for joining us every week. And I will tell you that a lot's been happening in the real estate market to begin with properties that are coming to market and properties that are selling and the dollars amounts they're selling for. The inventory has definitely picked up. Would you agree?
Oh, for sure.
Every town now has probably between 10 to 15 properties for sale, maybe even more, depending where. And that's a good thing for us. We want to see more and more inventory coming out. The prices are not going down, I'll call it. I think they're pretty straightforward, unless they've been sitting for a little while. And homes that are not all done inside, those are the ones we're seeing a little bit decline in pricing. Rates have been actually a little on the higher side over the last couple of weeks. They came down for a split second,
Yep.
and then they bounced back up, which has been very interesting for us also because, but at the end of the day is half a point one way or the other isn't making a catastrophic difference in your monthly payment.
Right.
Never shop the rate, shop the home, get the home under contract. The rate will eventually come down to refinance, right? That's the way to do it. We got questions out there. Anybody shout outs?
James Bulger said, hey boys, how are you guys doing?
James Bulger, an amazing guy. We love you, Jimmy James Bulger. Jimmy Bulger, actually, not James. Jimmy Bulger. Great guy. Thank you so much for watching, buddy, and being a part of the show. We would love to get more business with you done. He's a great realtor to work with. You know, there are a lot of, well, I can't say a lot. There are some really good realtors out there. And Jimmy Bulger is definitely one of the top out there to work with. Definitely for sure. We love you, Jimmy. I'm sure Jimmy's out there voting today, as we did as well. Got our sticker somewhere on our body here. I think, did you send in the ballot in advance, or did you get to?
I did in-person voting, but early voting.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. One of the questions that was on the
Well,
ballot
I
question.
didn't know how busy today was going to be, so I didn't want to
That was smart.
mess up on it.
Yeah.
So, by the way, this is the name that came up. That was last week's winner.
Felicidades.
Yeah.
Oh. We'll have to get on that afterwards.
No,
Oh.
he pronounced it Felicidades, right?
How did you just track all the way back in the last week? And just...
So no, because I watched it.
Hold on,
I watched the episode.
So let's show everybody there. The winner was from last week. The winner from last week was Felicidades from Instagram, right?
Right, but
And
that's
That's how you pronounced it.
well, that's not a name.
Right.
It's like Felicidades. It's,
Right.
It's like
Felicidades, like celebration.
celebration.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Maybe that's.
you need to bone up in your Spanish there a little bit.
That's funny.
It is funny, right? I mean, it's kind of like one of those things that either you know, if you know, you know.
Yeah, we rewatched the episode on the TV
With Nick.
with Nick.
Yes.
To see if the monkey moved and,
Yes.
and stuff. I was like, guys, I was sitting right there. It moved.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, last week's episode with Nick was great. By the way, I gotta talk to you about Nick. He's doing some amazing things. We're gonna have to get back with him about. I'll talk about it after the show. Can't talk about it now.
We got to go to Monroe. Remember?
We gotta go to Monroe. Take a peek at that haunted house. That is for
I thought it
sure.
was the white lady.
Well, isn't it that haunted house though?
I
White
don't know.
lady
It's just the
haunted
white
house?
lady.
Haunted graveyard.
Haunted graveyard.
Graveyard. Yeah. It's more interesting.
That's
Way more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to bring my.
There's no bathrooms in a graveyard.
Have to bring my taser with me or something like that. You know, just in
For
case.
what?
I don't know. In case you see, I'm not
Just
sure
bring
if
a
it works.
flashlight
Yeah, I'm not sure if a
and
taser
your
works.
and your sneakers.
May have to wait
I don't
till-
have to beat the ghost. I just got to outrun him.
I'm gonna
And you're
touch
still
a rope.
healing, so that's
I'm
an
gonna
easy
touch-
one.
I'm
I
gonna touch
can
a
do it
rope.
backwards.
I'm gonna touch a rope next to you, onto you, so you can pull me. You know, maybe I'll put some like some
Drag you
skis
along.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Roller skates, or whatever. So today we're going to talk about the great debate. The great debate has to do with many things in our industry and then some. So we have some topics to talk about with you. You realtors out there who are watching, again, Jimmy included, who is very knowledgeable in this business, and anybody else out there. Or if you're looking to buy or sell and you have questions or thoughts and feelings on the debate also, please put your opinions out there. We would love to hear from you. So why don't we get into it?
What do you want to go? So there's two categories. So
Yes.
there's real estate topics to debate, and there's non-real estate topics. So we can flip back and forth
I like that.
however you see fit.
Yeah.
All right. First topic: home styles. Split,
Styles.
split versus colonial.
Okay, which one are you going to take?
I'm gonna take split.
All right. He's going to take split. I'm going to take colonial.
Okay.
And I bet you Jimmy Bolger pitched it colonial also.
Okay. Well, my first salvo is gonna be colonial sucks. It's not as good as split. That's it. I win.
Well, I'm going to say to you that I love split level houses to begin with, and I can definitely take that side of the element. But because you took splits, I'm going to go on colonial side. Colonial side's going to be more expensive to buy, but always more valuable on the resale. So long as you always maintain your property, keep it in good shape. It's going to cost more possibly to fix certain things. I just spit.
You spitting?
I know. That's what the heck just happened.
Give me the news, not the weather.
It may be more expensive to fix on some items because you have larger rooms in the house. For example, your kitchen may be larger, not necessarily in a colonial, over a split, and you may have more things that are expected in a colonial to be updated in. For example, the style regarding hardwood floors definitely throughout on the first floor. Colonials on the second floor don't always have hardwood floors. Very commonly, they have carpet because people didn't invest in their upstairs. And later on, people who had a colonial wish they had the hardwood floors upstairs. And then you'll find sometimes bedrooms with carpets because it's like warm on your toes. But again, most people like it to have just hardwood floors. Colonials also have different style windows. I'm going to get into this. Windows are
They have
more
different
standard,
windows.
more standard sized windows in a colonial than a split sometimes, due to the size of the windows and location of them. And also a colonial is going to be something where the basement is a much higher basement as far as basement goes from the head standpoint. So somebody tall like Jimmy Bolger would probably do better in a colonial basement over a split.
Which Jimmy 6'9".
Jimmy's got to be 6'3", 6'4" easily.
James, right? That's
Yes.
It's James
yeah,
Bolger.
yeah. That's what I thought.
Jimmy
Colonial.
Bolger.
He said colonial, but split is a lot of room.
Agree with you. Again, I want to pick split, but Eric chose
Well,
split.
All right. So everything you said was wrong. Fine. No. See, here's the thing I like about a split, and I pitched this as we walked through the house.
Yes.
I'm gonna call them zones. Okay.
Yes.
So you have the bedroom zone. So let's say you're entertaining.
Yes.
Okay. Most of the crowds coming in, they're on your main level.
True.
They're not seeing your bedrooms. They're not, all that stuff. Although in some splits there will be a main bathroom up at that up a stairs. Up 3 or 4 stairs to the right. There's usually a bathroom up where the bedrooms are. But if you're entertaining down the basement, there's usually a half bath or a full bath down there.
Facts.
So if you're entertaining, you have 2 levels to entertain with. Guys in one room, gals in another. Guys watching football, gals talking shop.
Absolutely true.
The thing I like about the split is the zones. You got parents watching something one place and kids watching someplace something else. Not that I'm not a proponent of separating the family. I'm just saying,
Gotta keep the family with the family.
there's only so many times you can watch SpongeBob.
Right, true.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say to you, I agree with you on the split level you have. Like you said, that lower level is almost always finished
Mhm.
in a split level house. Where a
But
colonial,
there's 4, and very often there's 4 levels.
it can be
So you have the unfinished basement
Right.
at yet another level down below.
the split level house is one of our favorites for sure. From a space, separation, many more space for storage, like you mentioned, in that lower level with the mechanical room.
Mhm.
Then you also have that basement space that's almost always finished. And depending on what kind of split it is from the front to back, or if it's going to be something from the sides, kind of like a raised ranch, but more pieces to the puzzle. 3-4 stairs here, 3-4 stairs there. Listen, we love split level. Lower taxes in a split level house, almost
Plus.
for sure.
Plus.
Plus more space. Colonial is going to be higher taxes normally, and you're going to have a basement that if it's finished is going to be something where it's going to be more expensive to finish typically. The height requirements are different on a colonial typically than a split. I love the split.
Yeah, I
love
think
the raised
I
ranch.
think most colonials will have like a 7-foot ceiling in there.
At least a 7-foot
7-foot
ceiling. Yeah, I
ceiling.
would say more than that. I'm probably gonna say 8 plus, if I had to guess. And I would say a split's gonna be 7, 6.5 to 7.5. Somewhere not
Well,
more.
that might bring us to our next subject. Well, it's a perfect segue.
Perfect segue.
Yeah, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Drop ceiling versus tile ceiling.
Ooh, great one.
Yeah. Since we're in the basement, and
You
we were
mean-
going to
you mean-
hop
wait,
between
you mean-
topics.
Hold on, you mean sheetrock ceiling versus drop ceiling?
No, basement. So drop ceiling versus tile ceiling. You ever seen ceiling tiles? They have like a pattern on
The
them and
squ-
stuff. They're
the
the ones,
square-
the squares that
yeah,
stick
yeah,
up to the.
Okay.
Yes. So the drop ceiling like we have here.
Yes.
This is more like acoustic. They're
Right.
called tiles, but they're like acoustic tiles.
True.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know the tiles that I'm talking about? You need to pull up an
The
example.
tiles you're talking about are very similar to the old style homes. I'll call it
Not
1900s.
necessarily.
They're squares. They're 1 foot by 1 foot squares.
Not necessarily, no.
Because a lot of times you can have another debate that is the sheetrock ceiling versus the drop ceiling versus the, I'll call it tile ceiling he's talking about. I think they're 1 foot squares. It's very common to see that in older homes in that 1900s. A lot of times you see them in multifamilies too. I'm pretty sure.
So these would be ceiling tiles.
Oh, those are actually no. Those
Is it
are
ceiling? No.
no.
See the
that-
square?
It's a drop
It's a
ceiling. That fits in exactly the same kind of thing, but they're fancier. That drop ceiling is
That's
a
cool.
plastic.
That's what we should do here.
Yeah.
Let me see it because I was so
Video.
confused.
So they make so you have these, I'll call it cardboard looking drop ceilings that are the less expensive ones that you see in most homes with the and I don't know the terminology for it because I'm not in this space necessarily. The drop ceiling has these what do you call it, Eric? What would you call those things that they hold us
Track.
tracks?
Rail.
Thank you very
Track
much.
or rail.
So that in the other ones they make now, they're nicer, fancier drop ceilings. They're more of a square, like a 1.5 foot, and they look like a plastic or they've got some kind of design to them. They're beautiful. They're also a drop ceiling and a track as well, by the way. They're not.
Well, there's a practicality thing that I like about the drop ceilings.
What do
The
you
drop
think?
ceiling thing,
This
and we're
drop
talking,
ceiling? Or
yes,
that drop
this
ceiling?
type of drop ceiling.
Okay.
And that's the push the tile up, slide it to the side, and you got your plumbing
That's how
access.
that one is there too.
Mm,
It is. It's
I
exactly.
think those are fixed.
No,
but
they're,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I
they're
understand.
nailed on. They're actually nailed.
they have nailed.
They're
it.
nailed
Yes.
or stapled to the floor joist.
That's the one that.
So those
yeah.
are different.
Yes.
Those
The
are
more
different.
cardboard type of.
Yeah, these you still have access to
Yes.
in between the floor joists and the plumbing and stuff like that. So
Versus also the sheetrock ceiling in my basement, because a lot of times you have a ranch house or even a split where the ceiling is shorter, and you don't have the space to lose that extra. Because on a drop ceiling, you need probably another 8 inches of space, and you don't have that extra 8 inches, so they go right with a sheetrock to the top, right to the 2 by whatever you want to call them, the board, the beams that are 2
2
by
by?
4s, 2 by 6, 2 by 8, whatever
What?
it is.
talking about the support beam.
Support beams, yeah.
Okay,
So like you'll have that with sheetrock right to the top of it to give you more space for your headroom.
that's not going to be a 2x6. It's going to be at least 3 2x6s. Yeah.
So that's exactly what we're talking about. So that would be something where if you have a ranch house, very common. I look at my house, we have a sheetrock ceiling because the space wouldn't allow it to be too low. Where a guy like, again, we'll just use Jimmy Bolger, he's probably getting, Jimmy, just correct me in your height. I'm going to guess 6'3", 6'4" on your
I'm going
height.
to say 6'1", 6'2".
Oh, he's definitely more than 6. He might even be 6'4", 6'5". I'm going to say 6'3", 6'4".
I'm
And Jimmy,
I'm
if you
maxing him
go
out
outside-
at 6'2".
No
I'm sorry,
way.
I'm maxing him out at 6'2". So
Kevin Christian, the answer.
I
to that
think
one
he's
there.
still in there.
I think you think he's taller because his truck is really high up off the
He's
ground.
definitely off the
You know.
ground.
So
But no, but he's taller because I stand next to him and I'm a tiny little guy over here.
all right,
all
so we're
right.
going to go.
6'2".
6'2"?
Who nailed it?
Hold on a second. Is that with or without shoes? Because usually wear
Come on.
probably boots or something like that.
Come
Probably
on.
have 2 inches on
He
that.
just can't accept the loss.
Hold on a second. I bet
He
you that's
cannot
without
accept
shoes.
a loss,
That's
this guy.
6'2" without shoes, I bet you. 6'4" with shoes.
If his license says he's 6'2", he's
That
6'2".
is true.
All right.
That is true.
Well, he might be 6'5" with pumps. I don't want to see that.
That's only on Tuesdays.
Just
All
for
right.
the show.
Just for the show.
All right, you ready? All right, we're going to off real estate topic
Off
here.
real estate,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Family ties versus home improvement.
I thought the show when you first said. Oh, is it the show?
Yeah, the shows.
Oh, Family Ties versus Home Improvement.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Both great shows. Those are the 90s right there.
Yeah.
80s into the 90s. You've got, obviously, our...
Pick one.
Oh, God. I'm going to
I get that a
go...
lot, by the way.
Yeah, right. I'm going to go with Family Ties. because Michael J. Fox had a cute sister, and that's why I'm going to go with that show.
Michael J. Fox had a cute sister.
Yeah. His sister was cute. I forgot her name, but she was cute in the show. And he's a great actor. And
Mallory.
Mallory.
Her name was Mallory on the show.
Oh, was that good? Okay, that was
Family
Mallory.
Ties.
Mallory. Yeah, Mallory.
Yeah, Mallory.
She was cute. Mallory
Mallory
was cute.
Keating.
Yeah, the brunette. She was cute.
Daphne, I think her name was Daphne Zuniga.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Family Ties. Give it to
Home Improvement, all the way. Home
great.
Improvement. So yeah, so the laugh,
James
the tools.
James said Home Improvement, so
Yeah.
See, yeah, Home Improvement. You've got I forgot the neighbor's name, the one at the fence.
Yes,
You couldn't see
yes.
his face, right?
Yeah.
But so Pamela Anderson was in the first season of that show.
I remember.
Was
that.
the assistant?
Yeah.
Yes. And just the mishaps with tools.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a laughing matter, but I mean, just to see,
it made it relatable. Made it very
absolutely
relatable.
to those DIYers out
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so funny, that show.
I will agree with you. What was his? He had two kids, right? A boy and a girl, I believe. Also,
Home Improvement.
Yeah, Home
He had three
Improvement.
sons.
3 sons.
Yes.
Um,
One of them ended up in jail, by the way.
in real life.
in real
or
life, yeah.
Okay. We'll get into that.
Zachary something. I forgot his name.
All right. Don't know the background, but I liked Family Ties because of the mom was hot, the sister was hot.
It's,
I apologize. Was that
he
wrong?
bases his favorite TV shows on hotness.
Well, at the point in my life when I was watching the show, it was definitely based on the fact of being an attractive mom and attractive sister. I
This
can't
was the
help.
'90s. You were in your 20s.
90s, I was in my 18 to 21.
Yeah.
That's why it was based on the attractiveness.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I thought that Michael J. Fox was an excellent actor. I used to love him getting upset. He was very funny, very animated about how he acted on the show. Great actor. The dad was the kind of the
That
goofy dad.
bearded kind
Yeah,
of
goofy dad.
straight laced guy.
But it was a good show. Good topic.
Yeah.
But I
All
did
right.
like Home Improvement, so just to debate.
Okay.
Is that in the way or no?
No, it's not in view. What did I do before?
We did before
Oh,
that.
drop ceiling versus tile.
Yeah.
Okay. I got one.
The
ready?
great debate continues.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Gas versus oil. Dun, dun, dun.
I am a huge fan of oil all day long for many, many reasons. We'll start with the house, though, specifically, more importantly. When you have oil prices, you can shop it around. You get an oil delivery, you know how much you get. You can keep track of how much you're using. And it's much more efficient to me from a standpoint of cost and usage. The actual bedrooms feel warmer. The house feels warmer on a baseboard oil heat versus a forced air oil heat.
Well,
The forced air is definitely different.
but you can have a boiler burning gas.
Absolutely
It's the
true.
same thing. It's hot
So,
water.
but
It's
I'm-
baseboard.
I'm going to just say baseboard specifically in oil.
Well, baseboard versus. Well, you're talking about baseboard versus
forced hot air.
air. Forced hot air.
And I'm going to
Two
say
different things.
right. And we're going to say that gas is forced hot air and oil is
No.
baseboard. No, we're not. we're
No,
not.
no, because you can have electric forced hot air, heat pump,
That's true too.
Yeah.
All right. So going back to oil, we have
and there's no delivery.
True.
Well, see, that's why I like gas. So I like gas because gas burns cleaner.
Yes.
Okay, so we hear that every inspection.
Yes.
Okay, it's the delivery is there's already a gas line running right into your house. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to check
True.
the gauge. You don't have to, And if things are a little tight, you're like, I got to oil, and there's not enough cheddar in the account. That kind of thing. So gas, you just get a bill at the end of the month. You can measure it. You can see how much you used. Same thing.
Gas is much
as
harder
oil.
to measure because So when my wife and I bought our
But it
first,
tells you how much you used on the bill.
so here's the problem.
So if I used $180 last month and I used $250 this month, guess what?
you have
I used more gas.
You have no way to daily watch. Like I have an app on my phone for my oil tank that allows me to see exactly how much oil I'm using per day, per hour, if you will. It's a very cool Amazon purchase that you get that attaches to your oil tank, and you know exactly how much oil you're using and how efficient you're being. Number two, when it comes to the oil, in my opinion, on delivery, you can shop it around. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't know already, there's a place called cashheatingoil.com. cashheatingoil.com. If you have oil, go to cashheatingoil.com, type in your zip code, and you'll see what the price of oil is, and you'll be shocked on how much less expensive it is compared to anywhere else. You can order minimum order of 50, but you want to order at least 100 gallons to get the price break. Now, going back to your question as far as payment goes.
And oil tanks, they don't last forever.
Well, they last 50, 60 years
Okay.
on average.
Okay,
I would
unless you
say.
buy a house that has a brand new oil tank in it.
But an oil tank,
I will say this.
Yes.
Those Roth tanks, those new square Roth tanks, really cool.
they are cool, way expensive. I would say to you that I think it's not worth the purchase of it. The number
Well, if you're
oil
buying a
tank-
house that's already there, then it's
Yeah, so,
yeah.
yeah, definitely a bonus for sure. But an oil tank's about $2,500, maybe $3,000 nowadays.
Yep.
If it's in your basement and you can get it out from a Bilco, it's also much easier, less expensive. But I like oil. I just love oil because I know that I also like oil for other reasons, like cars and everything else. Like so, I'm a very big
Cars use
promoter.
gas.
I know, but the oil starts with the gas,
Engine.
oil.
Yeah.
Oil. I'm an oil guy.
Gas.
He's a New Yorker, that's why he likes gas.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Every one of our clients who come from New York, first thing they say is, I don't want oil, I want
I
gas.
want oil.
Because
Correct.
they're scared of it. But we educate them to make sure they understand. All right, next one.
You ready for the next
I'm
one?
ready.
All right.
Are you ready?
Die Hard versus Speed.
I'm going to go with Die Hard.
Are you?
Die Hard, Bruce Willis.
I was hoping you weren't going to pick Die Hard
Yeah.
because arguing for Speed is not that hard, but it's hard.
Right.
Die Hard's just such a
I mean,
ridiculous.
speeds of cars. It's the the whole thing with the cars and
The bus.
right.
The bus.
Oh yeah, the
Speed.
bus.
Speed. The one with the bus that has the bomb on
yes,
it.
Yes, that was a
That
great
if
movie.
it drops below
Okay.
50 miles an
That
hour,
was
I
a
think it
great
is.
movie.
It is. Keanu
That was
Reeves,
a
Sandra
great-
Bullock.
You know, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock makes it much more exciting.
See, here we go. Right back to the women again.
But
Well, the best part of that movie is when I forgot the actor's name, is when he realizes that the house is rigged to blow up.
Yes.
And he hears a sound, he's like, and he just looks at the camera, and like, okay, I'm done.
That was a great movie, Speed. Actually, I have to watch that again. It's been years since I watched that. I forgot about that. It
Yeah.
goes around and around on the track or something.
No,
like that,
well,
right?
it goes through the streets, and then it gets on a highway,
Yeah.
and then they're able to get it to the airport.
That's
and
what it
they're,
was, the
and they're
airport
just driving
circle.
around in the airport,
Yes,
because
yeah.
they can maintain the speed, they don't have to worry about traffic or anything like that.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right. That was it was a great movie. I'm gonna Die Hard. Bruce Willis.
Die Hard, I mean, there's so many
So
iconic
many.
lines out of that
Yes,
movie.
Facts. He's such a great actor. Always was a phenomenal. I don't know if there's a movie that I can think of that he actually made that was a bad movie. And you might know better than I do because
there's
you're
a
much,
couple of
yeah, a
them.
couple of them.
Yeah.
But the majority of his movies are phenomenal. Not that Keanu Reeves isn't a phenomenal actor. He got into
He's John Wick.
He is a great two great actors. Two different styles.
I'm
two
sure
different
you've seen
movies.
John Wick. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, he hasn't seen Goodfellas, but he's seen John Wick.
Yeah, we gotta get to that. The mafioso type movies. That's another great topic, by the way.
What?
Mafioso movies, Italian movies.
Yes.
Yeah. We could do gangbanger movies versus the Italian mafia movies.
All right,
Let's
you
go.
ready for the next
Yes.
one? Deck versus patio.
What do you want to pick?
I'm gonna choose patio.
Okay. I'm gonna choose deck.
Well, you have to choose deck. 'Cause there's only two categories,
All right.
and
So
I chose one.
with deck, you have multiple options of kind of decks you can have based on what your comfortability and affordability is. I actually have a deck, as you know myself, and with a deck, you can have wood, which is pressure treated wood that you will last a long time. On top of a deck, we actually carpeted our deck with an indoor-outdoor carpet, which makes it also not as hot.
Is your deck wood or is it?
It's a wood deck.
okay.
Yeah. And we carpeted it for the last 15 years. We did it twice, two carpeted. We changed it every 7 years. You can power wash it. You can maintain it. The carpet on the deck makes it feel less hot. You can paint it over and over, which not necessarily over and over, but every couple of years you can paint it. You can replace pieces on it on a deck much easier. Less expensive if it's wood versus vinyl. Vinyl is definitely more expensive, but vinyl is vinyl. Vinyl is very pretty, more rich looking per se too. But deck can be challenging because deck can be from things underneath you don't see that are going on that have to be replaced, and that can be very expensive also. So a deck has to be made sure it's not only properly put together, but also something you investigate every few
Well,
years.
they both carry issues with them. I mean, your deck, the footing's got to be right. You know,
Yes.
so you got to be on the concrete piers.
Yes.
You have to have the right concrete piers bolted to the house, the lag
Yes.
bolts. You know, so it doesn't pull away from the house over time.
Yeah.
You know, but and the patio, you don't have to worry about that as much.
True.
But it does still have to be flattened.
Right.
It's got to be packed down, or else you're going to have movement of pavers or whatever it is that you pour down there. But I love like stamped concrete patios.
Yes.
Really nice.
Stamped concrete, bluestone patio, or
Yep.
even you talked about before the my God, I'm trying to blank on the words. The stone blocks, Belgian block like patios, if you will, or a brick patio layout, which is very popular from originally back in the day. And then you have the moss that will grow through it, or grass. You can have cutting going through it too to make it look very pretty.
Well, with the decks too, the thing I like about the decks is you can have a floating deck. You can have a deck that's just like 2 inches off the ground,
Right.
or you can have a deck up by your slider,
That's a
your
good
kitchen
point.
slider.
That's right.
You know,
Yes, and depending on that, if you have a walkout or not, may depend on a deck or versus a patio may not be available, because if you have a walkout lower level, then the patio.
and we've seen
is-
houses that have decks that don't
Yes.
have a slider.
Right,
Don't have you have to go outside the house to access the deck.
which is a house that needs to have a slider in place or put it, if you will.
Yeah,
But I will say to you that from owning a deck, one of the things I always wanted was a patio. It's kind of funny, if you've had one, you tend to want the other from a maintenance issue that you experience with the one you have now. Patios are very classy, very pretty. Our friends Pepe, Frank,
Yep, Frank Pepe.
and his family, they have this beautiful patio. We did our video at
Yes.
their house, and that patio might be one of those beautiful patios I've ever seen. What he did there with the bluestone and the benches in there and the fire pit.
that's the patio that I think of
Right,
when I say okay,
Patio.
deck versus patio.
that patio blows every
Patio.
deck away because it's much bigger.
Patio.
In addition to the patio, you can go much bigger on a patio than you can with a deck. You can only
Yep.
go so big on a deck.
Right.
Right,
And you
maybe-
can always hold so many people on a deck.
And you can only hold so many people on a deck. Or a patio, it's on the ground. You can hold a gazillion people. It's much less expensive, I think, long term with a patio than a deck. Less maintenance of it, typically, I would say. And a patio, like you said, you can have a lot of people out there, and you can continue to make it larger and larger.
Yep, you
as
can
time
enlarge
goes
it.
on. Great debate. The great debate continues.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Steak versus lobster.
That's a great question.
Pick one.
I'm going to go with lobster.
Fool.
Yeah. Well, I knew you'd pick steak, but
Yeah, okay.
and I'll let you go first, and then I'll tell you why lobster. When I say lobster, is it only lobster or seafood in general?
Lobster.
Okay,
Steak versus lobster.
steak versus lobster.
Okay. So steak. So, different ways to prepare it.
Yes.
You can go rare, medium well, and well.
But there's only one way to eat it: medium rare.
Medium rare. Well,
Yes.
when this episode is over, I'm going to tell you somebody that I know that you know also
Yes.
that eats it well done only,
Oh,
and that's gruesome.
that's awful.
Yes.
It's
So
like a tire. Go ahead.
so you have different levels of ways you can prepare it. You have
Yes.
different types of steak. You know.
Very true.
Okay, T-bone, just all of those. But the thing that's most appealing to me about a steak is you don't need to add anything to it for flavor. No barbecue sauce, no A1 steak sauce, no ketchup,
Just a little salt.
no. I don't even think salt is necessary in most
Not
cases.
necessary, but it brings the flavors out
Right.
for the steak.
So whereas lobster, you got
Wait,
butter, you got
wait,
lemon,
hold
you
on.
know.
So lobster. Let's just start lobster. Lobster, number one. There are different kinds of lobsters. Number one, which I'm learning about. Different kind of size of lobster tails. Number two, lobster is high in protein, low in fat, and also it digests in your body much faster. Where steak can take several days to digest. It's also something where you have, if you are allergic to your body, you can have a seafood allergy first of all, and you can also have how your body. For me, I have a gallbladder's been taken out, so I used to love steak, but now if I eat steak or too much of it, I go and I suffer. I'm like, oh my god, it hurts. So it doesn't digest as well.
Can you do that again, please?
Oh my god, it hurts. But a lobster is definitely going to digest faster. It's super high in protein. It is high in cholesterol.
The chicken. So you're saying steak is not high in protein?
Steak is very high in protein,
Okay.
the most, maybe highest in protein, but it's also high in protein to get the fair share. The problem with the seafood, which I've learned, is it's high in cholesterol, which I did not realize. I went to go get some blood work done, right? And I get there, the guy goes, the doctor said, your cholesterol is through the roof. What did you eat yesterday? I said, oh, I had shrimp and lobster. He's like, all right, come back like in 2 weeks and let's do this again. No seafood. Had no idea that seafood is so high in cholesterol.
You're not making a very good argument for lobster.
But I'll tell you that if you're gonna choose, if you have a bite of a steak and a lobster, a delicious lobster, a little bit of butter, hot, nothing like it whatsoever. It's definitely, to me, if I was to choose between the two, I'm gonna go with lobster.
Okay. You're wrong again, but that's fine. It's a free country.
It is a free country.
All right,
Thank God.
last one. This is an easy one, and I know which one you're going to take. You ready?
Yes.
Popcorn ceiling versus clean sheetrock ceiling.
Well, I would definitely pick the clean sheetrock ceiling because of visual.
I'm sure there are people out there who like popcorn. Well, I'm going to take popcorn.
Okay,
I'm gonna
you-
argue for popcorn.
You'll argue for popcorn. I can tell you only
I'm
reason,
gonna
one
argue for
reason why
popcorn.
that.
I can't think of anything currently. But go ahead.
I only know one reason why popcorn is good. Should I tell you, or should I wait till you go first?
Yes, collecting cobwebs.
No.
Okay.
The best reason why, the most of the time, the reason why popcorn ceiling is evident in a home is because if you look at a ceiling, most of them are not flat. They are.
Well, popcorn will mask. Like if you have a
yes,
plaster ceiling,
deficiencies, yes.
if you have a plaster ceiling, popcorn's your bet. Unless you just rip the plaster off and put a sheetrock.
Right.
But yeah.
But going to the sheetrock ceiling, it's cleaner, especially recessed lights in a ceiling, reflects better, easier to paint.
What
it-
is flat?
Flat,
Yeah.
yes. It does not collect, as you mentioned, as much on it as something else with texture to it. Schmutz. Schmutz.
Yes.
I will say to you that it's definitely more for Sorry. Wow. You know what I'm drinking today? So I've got our cups over here. It comes to-
Oh, I knew we
tumblers.
forgot something. We forgot our tumbler.
Right, so when it comes to our, you're gonna give me a pretend tumbler. That's to help me out. I know. All right, but when it comes to the actual, when it comes to the actual ceiling though, for a resale reason, we always want them to have a nice flat sheetrock ceiling. Go ahead, my friend. Argue the popcorn.
Well, popcorn is good because you can have it during a movie, right? So, yeah, there's no argument. I mean, outside of like what we were talking about with
Yeah.
the plaster ceiling,
Yeah.
outside of covering some blemishes that you can't cover, it's probably the I don't know application wise. I mean, it's super messy.
Super messy.
It's messy to put up,
Yeah.
and it's super messy to get down.
I'll tell
take
you
off.
one time that I saw a popcorn ceiling that looked really cool. So I have a lot of Italian clients, and I mean off the boat, old school Italians, where they got like Jesus everywhere, and every saint in the world, and statues between 1 to 3 feet tall everywhere in the house. Jesus is on the wall. I mean, I'm talking about like it's the Roman Catholic Church over there, right? And in the ceiling with the popcorn, they got glitter sprayed on the ceiling, and it was the coolest thing you've ever seen. I was like, wow, if you're gonna have popcorn ceilings, glitter the ceiling, unbelievable. Very cool stuff. You ever seen that before?
We should discover or invent ways to kind of improve some
Improved popcorn ceiling.
Yeah.
Glittered up, baby. Get some glitter and glitter it up. But I will tell you, they weren't really happy about cleaning it up. It was a massive,
Yeah.
massive.
No, that's a mess.
Yeah, and also popcorn could be possibly have in it something that could be dangerous, depending on the age of it when it was put
Yeah.
out.
I don't know that
It
they use asbestos on it.
could have been asbestos in the popcorn. Back in the day, there was asbestos in popcorns that they used. Yeah, so that was something that we learned out from I think our friend Joe.
We're out of time.
All right, everybody, we are here with you every Tuesday night. It was the great debate. A
The great debate
show.
that Eric won because, except for popcorn.
Except for popcorn.
I'll relinquish the crown on popcorn.
But in addition to that, we hope you have a wonderful evening. Glued to the TVs. It's going to be one heck of a night. Nobody knows what's going to happen yet. We're all in the seat of our chairs.
Seat of our chairs.
Seat of our chairs.
Edge of our seats.
Edge of our seats. Seat of our chairs.
Oh, wait a minute.
No matter.
Results are in.
Shut.
I won the debate.
All right, so listen, we hope that no matter what happens
No.
tonight, we are all
Come
at
on,
peace.
Thane.
We all have great camaraderie amongst each other, and that remember our friends are friends, regardless of their beliefs and feelings, and to always keep things on the level, even though we may have very, very passionate reasons for who we want to win, etc. All right, next week we are going to have a really cool show. Melissa I'm going to say it wrong. Tranquino. It's my phone. She's a medium. And there go the lights.
Here goes the lights again.
We have a medium coming in the show. She does tarot card readings. I never had
She
that
does
done.
what?
Tarot card readings. I've
There's
never
what?
tarot. Am I saying it wrong?
Yeah, you're saying it wrong.
How do you say
Tarot.
it? Tarot.
Tarot.
Oh, tarot. Card
The T
readings.
is silent. It's tarot cards.
I didn't know that.
Yep, tarot.
So tarot card readings will happen. Never had that done before. She'll hopefully get a chance to do it. Both of us will be here to see what it says. I don't know.
It's witchcraft. I don't watch that.
Yeah. It's going to be a really exciting show. Can't wait to have you a part of it. So, Thane, let's see who the lucky winner is this week.
Thing's busy. Can't you
and-
see sending a message?
And let's see, and if it's in Spanish, we will help you out with that.
Yes. Turn it around for us to read if it looks Hispanic.
It's
Oh, I
Spanish.
don't have the volume up. Hold on.
No volume up.
Not for us.
All right.
For them.
Dun, 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 dun.
We got Lauren Morass, and I think we've got her before.
She was definitely on before. Let's do that again. 'Cause Laura
Yeah,
already
I
won.
was
Yeah, Lauren's already won. Somebody's supposed to be taking those names off.
Yeah,
They win.
I click hide every time.
Hide.
They unhide it when I get that.
Felicidades.
FC Lifestyle Trade.
FC Lifestyle Trade.
Lifestyle Trader 01.
FC Lifestyle Trader 01. You are the lucky winner of a tumbler.
I was going for 02.
And you're Pro 2. Congratulations on winning. Please be in touch with us so we can get you out a tumbler. We want to thank you all for being a part of our show this week. We hope you have a wonderful evening. Eric, great show. Great idea. Love the great
Well, you
debate.
came up with the debate. I came up with the subject.
You came up with the subjects. I came up with the debate. But as a team, we did a good job together. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys enjoyed it too.
Still won.
Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. And again, just remember the one thing, do more than anything else. If you ever are looking to buy or sell a house, that's what we do for a living. It would be an honor to work for you.
Privilege.
It would be a privilege and honor, and we appreciate this time to be a part of your lives. If you have questions about your house and your values, you can scan the QR code. Is that available? Can you see that on the screen? Let's see if that actually works. Try to scan that QR code right there. Let's see if that works. Does that work out
But
there?
if they're watching it on their phone, then they can't take
There's
out the
no
cameras.
QR code.
It's on the back, Dave.
I was gonna say.
There's the QR code on the tumbler right there. And if you can see that QR code and you can scan it, if it allows you to, that'd be kind of cool. So, with that being said, love the opportunity to work for you. If you or somebody looking to buy or sell a home, Eric and myself and our team would love to work for you. We thank you so much for being part of our lives every week.